Speaking about what's going on with regard to economy and business, we have on the phone Alison Dimas, Chair of the Trinidad and Tobago Chambers of Industry of Commerce Nova Committee, and Ernest Williams, member of the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce Nova Committee as well. Good morning, Alison and Ernest. Good morning.
Good morning, Lisa, and to all viewers of TTT.
I know we're here to talk about the initiative that the Chamber has called Beyond 2020, How to Survive and Thrive. And it's a micro, small and medium enterprise roadmap to digitally enable transformation. Wow, that's a handful. So the micro, the micros and small and medium enterprise sector has been under strain due to COVID, perhaps more than other sectors. How is the Chamber supporting this?
So we are supporting this through the NOVA committee because our mandate is essentially to promote and seek the interest of MSMEs, micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, who, as you said, have been particularly negatively impacted as a result of COVID-19, mainly due to the size of these businesses. And therefore, we felt that we should stage a series of webinars to provide actual roadmap, actual tips and strategies to MSMEs so that they'll be able to not only survive during COVID-19, but hopefully to thrive. And Ernest can provide some further background.
Yes, I was just going to ask Ernest to tell us a little bit more about the webinars.
Right, so we divided the webinar into the series into three webinars.
Yeah.
The first one we had yesterday, which was extremely successful. The intent was to start with the end in mind. So we spoke to what the future would likely look like, and we had a recognized futurist and some very well-qualified panelists. The webinar that's coming up on Tuesday next is going to try to provide some tools to the MSMEs as they try to, as we now say, pivot. As they re-examine what do they do and how should they do it better to provide to the needs of their members. On the third webinar, the following Tuesday, we're going to be looking at some overall solutions again. How do you finance your transformation? What should your transformation look like? What would be the results you would want to expect?
So you had the first one.
We're trying to combine a lot of the very good information that's out there. There are many webinars being presented.
Yeah.
We want to bring them together, distill them into a tangible set of steps that MSMEs can take to make this pivot or to adjust to better serve the new evolving needs of their clients.
Yeah.
And customers.
And, you spoke about the one that happened yesterday, which gave some idea as to what the future would look like. Since it happened yesterday, what were some of the learnings that came out of that webinar in terms of what the future post-COVID looks like?
Yeah.
So, well, I think one of the learnings we had from Ian Khan, celebrated futurist, is that essentially we have to ensure that we are market ready, that we really have to pay particular attention to all our, particularly digital marketing assets. And another common theme from all the speakers who included Ingrid Riley, Caribbean Tech Maven of Jamaica, and then we had Tracy Hackshaw, ICT specialist, as well as Gregory Maguire, noted energy economist, is that we should focus on local, because local enables us in TNT and in the Caribbean to distinguish our products and services internationally.
And Alison, good morning. Carrie here. I just had a question.
Hi, good morning, Carrie.
Good morning. And a lot of these webinars are geared toward businesses, small, medium, and micro enterprise businesses that may or may not be going through a difficult time, and it helps to improve them. Now, because of COVID-19, a number of them would have had to have probably closed their doors or probably are just before that point. And we know that the TT Chamber supports businesses. Is there anything for those who may have recently closed their doors, and or is it just too late that the Chamber can do?
No, I don't think it's too late. And one of the goals of this series of webinars is to actually provide tangible tips and strategies that MSMEs can adopt, how they can adopt digital technology to assist them, how they can adapt to the technology that's already out there. And even if they've had to close their business, they may be able to recognize new opportunities, new different opportunities. And what we're doing is hoping to provide them with the information, with the resources to enable them to transform, to pivot, as the case may be.
Now, in this day and age, like many businesses have been forced to start interacting online. Some people who run businesses, small, micro, and medium enterprises, they may not have been too tech savvy when it comes to that. Would there be support for those who are not that tech savvy to, really get up to speed to the digital age?
Right. So that is one of the key. Alison just said it, but that's one of the key points of the webinar series. As they say, a crisis is a terrible thing to waste. So we believe, we are as MSMEs as well, we believe that our target audience has an opportunity to rethink their initial entrepreneurial instincts. We look at what is the new normal, what are customers looking for? How do they either pivot from what they're doing into something new, or expand and provide a new way of meeting with their members? So you talk about e-commerce. If you look at the food delivery business, for instance, they have made the pivot, and the people who will be winning, the entrepreneurs who are winning on this court today, may not necessarily be the winners a year from now, because it's a constantly evolving. It's those who can analyze, who can understand, who can apply their entrepreneurial thinking to how do we combine the new technologies. But not new, these technologies have been around for quite some time. We've just been slow to adopt them.
Right.
And so COVID was a catalyst for people to now become more open to the adventure that this new technology presents. And that's what we're trying to get across to our target group. This is an opportunity to revisit your business strategy, revisit your business tactics, and revisit your business tools.
Going a little more in depth with that, and you use a phrase that I like: a crisis is a sad thing to waste. What are a little more in depth, what are some of the business opportunities that has presented itself in light of this pandemic?
So when you look at business opportunities, we look at it as new ways in which you can combine the different elements of your business. So your channels, when we talk about e-commerce is another channel that you can use to access your clients. So previously, people, your customers would come to your doors. Now they can come to you on their mobile phone. It's another way of looking at your value proposition. What are we providing? So let's use the doubles example that we pretty much know. An entrepreneur sat and said, listen, I have a product, but I can no longer access my customers.
Right.
Then he partnered with another business, the service station. He packaged his product in a way that was acceptable to the new environment, and he marketed it, and people bought. Now, other doubles vendors would have recognized the same opportunity. You look at some of the high-end restaurants where they did not consider takeout to be a viable option. Today, if they do not have a takeout product, if they have not rethought their delivery methods and practices, they would be out of business. So new markets are evolving. When Alison spoke to the opportunity for local, we're seeing in restaurants that they're starting to adopt local products. The farmers who used to deliver to warehouses and wholesalers are now putting their product in their vans, and they're going to their customers to deliver. they are now opening up online channels for people to order their products. And so they have opened up other markets for their products and other channels. And it goes like that. You have to look at both how do you produce your product, how do you interact with your customer, your various channels, how do you interact with your suppliers? The value chain worldwide is going to be changing. Look at the plexiglass vendors, stores now. The plexiglass hand sanitizer. We have the bigger organizations who were manufacturing alcohol and now manufacturing hand sanitizers and cosmetic manufacturers as well. So there are many opportunities. In next week, Tuesday's webinar, we have Professor Fleury, who in doing his PhD developed an approach to innovation. So it's a very practical set of steps that an entrepreneur and an MSME can follow to understand how does he re-envision his product, his service, his organization, his value chain to come up with a new or adopted and adapted means of serving his customers.
Yes. We're speaking about yes, Alison?
So I'm just going to say also next Tuesday, June 23rd, our session will be led by Roland Huggins, who is a leading digital economy specialist. He's based in Barbados. And we also have two entrepreneurs. We have Nikita Legol, who is the managing director of Tropical Hives, and they manufacture honey. So we'll be interested to hear from her how she has used digital technology in order to transform her manufacture and distribution of honey and other products from bees. And then we have our fintech specialist, Mark Pasod of SugarPay. And again, he will be addressing the burning issues of fintech, mobile wallets, mobile money, because clearly with COVID, we also have to pivot to try and become a cashless society.
Yes. How do MSMEs, micro and small and medium enterprises, participate? Is it free? Is it through registration?
Yeah, it's free. And you can register online, the Chamber's website, chamber.org.tt. And I want to emphasize it's free. So we're encouraging all businesses, consultants, whatever size, but particularly, if you're a one-person business, a micro, small, medium-sized enterprise, yes, please register and avail of yourself of this free knowledge.
Yes. I want to challenge you at the NOVA committee to come back after the seminars. We can schedule it so that we can get some of the insights that would have come out of the seminars. Not saying that we don't want people to register, because we want them to, and it will of course be more interactive that way. But I think it's wonderful that we can continue the conversation with regard to coping with COVID post the whole situation of COVID-19 and moving into doing business under the new normal. So thank you very much.
We would welcome that opportunity. Thank you so much.
I'm going to keep you to it, Alison.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alison Dimash, Chairman of the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber's NOVA Committee, and Ernest Williams, member of the Chamber's NOVA Committee as well.